As much as I loved her, I knew that we had not bonded. I felt that, and I was hopeful and waiting for it to happen, but in the end it really didn't. My husband and I are very committed to the ideas of equality and social justice, and I think that's very common when you're 22, 23, right out of college. You want to make a difference in the world. And when we got married, we wanted to not lose that. It was really one of our commitments to each other. We didn't want to grow up and become very self-centered and only focus on our own very small world. We wanted to really, the expression in English is walk the walk, not just talk about the problem, but actually do something about it. And foster care was something we felt really passionate about. And you know, people often ask me, what was it like to take a 14-year-old African-American boy into your family? How could you just love someone that looked different and that was older, fully developed, almost an adult, really? But when Trayvon came into our life, he was with us 4 years. He's now a freshman at New York University. He was a little boy. He was 14, but he looked 8 or 10. He hadn't hit puberty. He was skinny. He was undernourished. I think he only weighed 75 pounds. And he was really looking for a family, and he was looking to love and to be loved. And it wasn't hard. You know, I had recently given birth to my first daughter. She was 6 months old at the time that he came to live with us. And I remember being shocked how similar the experience was. You know, when you have a baby, you check on them in their crib 100 times in the middle of the night, and you make sure they're breathing. And you know, Trayvon was afraid of the dark in the beginning, so he would leave his light on, and I would check on him, and I would measure him and make sure he was growing and eating and gaining weight and taking him to the doctor. And it was really shockingly similar to the experience of raising my own biological children. Yeah, I mean, my husband and I, it's something we're committed to in our life, and we're actually starting a nonprofit to help young people that are emancipating, aging out of the foster care system, connecting them to people all over the country that want to support them during the transition. So we're committed to it, and right now all of our foster children are in college, and we have only our biological children. We live in a very tiny apartment. My husband's a graduate student. So I think it will be a while before we do again, but we really particularly like having teenagers because there aren't that many people willing to take teenagers, and it's such a crucial time in life where the world is still right there in front of you, and you can go a lot of different directions. No, it's absolutely not a success every time, and I personally have experienced both success and failure. We have one young woman who lived with us briefly, and we were very close to, and my husband especially woke up every morning saying, just so you know, I still want to adopt her. Just so you know, I still want to adopt her. And she was a little like Victoria. She was very distrusting. She'd never had a family. And as much as I loved her, I knew that we had not bonded. I felt that, and I was hopeful and waiting for it to happen, but in the end it really didn't. And she left, and we don't know where she is. It's a hard situation. Absolutely. I studied resilience and resiliency theory in college as a grad student, and I've seen it over and over and over again in kids. And it's really such a mystery why some kids really are resilient and some kids aren't able to do that. But I think that there are factors that influence it, and one of the main things, of course, is a stable, loving adult. My favorite flower is the tulip. I love it for so many reasons. I love the colors, I love the varieties. I was just in Holland, and the tulips there are breathtaking. But I especially love it because it means declaration of love, and it's the only flower that continues to grow even after it has been cut. So you can put it in a glass of water and it will continue to grow towards the sun, and I think that's the perfect declaration of love.